Hello students, today we will discuss about conditional statements in Java in this video. Now, as you know, there are three constructs that governs the statement flow. They are the sequence or the normal flow, the selection or the conditional flow, the iteration or the repetitive flow. Now, in a sequence flow, you can see that the control keeps on executing each and every statement of the program in a top-down approach. After this program is compiled, it takes the initialized value of n and m and then it displays the sum after doing the calculation. Whereas in selection or conditional statement, if a particular condition is true, then a particular statement or a group of statement is executed, and if the condition is false, in that case another statement or another group of statement will be executed. Like in this program, if n is greater than m, then the sum of the two numbers will be printed, else the difference of the two numbers will be printed. So we can see, based on a condition, a particular statement is executed, else if it is false, then another statement is executed. So we will learn more in detail about selection statement in this video. Now, what are selection statements or conditional statements? A selection statement is one that is used to decide which statement should be executed next. This decision is based upon a test condition. Now, Java supports the following types of selection statement: single if statement, if else statement, if else statement, which is also called to be a nested if, switch case statement, or the ternary operator. Now, what is an if-else statement? The if-else is a conditional branch statement. It is used to select one alternative statement out of two. Why do we call it to be a branch statement? Because based on a particular condition, it branches to one statement or a group of statement, or it branches to another statement or a group of statement. Now, the general form of the if-else statement is given below. Now we have if within the bracket the condition expression. Now this condition expression is a group of variables, logical operators and relational operator. Now if the condition expression is true, in that case a particular statement or a group of statement will be executed. If it is false, then the else part is statement 2 will be executed. But we should remember, both the statement cannot be executed. Now, what is a compound statement? A statement that includes one or more statement within it marked under curly bracket is said to be a compound statement. As you can see, if salary is greater than 8,000, then the adherence allowance will be zero point 0.8 into salary, that is 80% of the salary. HRA will be 25% of the salary and income tax will be 15% of the salary. Now this GA, HRA and income tax belongs to the condition salary greater than 8,000. That is why they have been put within curly braces so that they will belong to the condition salary greater than 8,000. What is nested if statement? A nested if is an if statement that is to be executed as a target of another if or else. It is important to remember when nesting if that an else statement always refers to the nested if nearest if statement that is within the same block as the else. Now you can see that in this example we have taken a condition if the answer variable is comparatively equal to y, that is it is true. In that case there are three checkings: amount equals to 100, then the discount is true. If amount greater than 100, then discount is true, else the discount is calculated to be 1. Now over here you can see that there are two if and one else. So this else will always pair to the nearest if, that is amount greater than 100. Then belonging to answer equals to y, the else part, if the condition answer equals to y proves to be false, then the else part discount will become 0. Now you can see that there a confusion has been raised. two if are there and one else is there. So it may raise to a confusion, which we call it as a dangling else problem. Now let us know in detail about the dangling else problem. The nested if else statement introduces a source of potential ambiguity. Ambiguity means confusion, referred to as dangling else problem. This problem arises when in a nested if statement, number of if is more than the number of else clause. The question then arises, with which if does the additional else clause property match? Now you can see over here that there are two if and one else. If the character variable is greater than equals to capital A, if character variable less than equals to capital Z, then it's an uppercase, else it will be the counter other will be increased. Now here, as per the indentation, we see that the programmer wants that the else should be with the outer if. We want that this else should be paired with character greater than equals to A. However, Java will match the else with the preceding unmatched if. By default, this else will belong to character variable less than equals to Z. So how to solve this problem? We can solve it by the use of parenthesis. So one method for overriding the default dangling else matching is to place the last occurring unmatched if in a compound statement. You can see by the use of the curly braces, now I have included this if ch less than equals to z within the ch greater than equals to a. So now this else will match with the ch greater than equals to a condition. What is conditional operator? The ternary operator is an alternative to if-else statement for a concise, clean and compact code. You can see the if-else has been converted using the conditional operator in this method. If a greater than 10, b equals to 10, else b equals to 15. Since b equals to initialization is common, we have taken it outside. B equals to, using ternary operator, we first put the condition a greater than 10 within bracket. The question mark means if it is true, then b equals to 10, 10 is written, colon means else, then b equals to 15, and then the semicolon. So this is the syntax of converting the if else into the conditional operator. Now what is the difference between if else and ternary operator? If else is used when complex logic handling is necessary, whereas ternary operator is used to offer more concise, clean and compact code. As you can see, if else is lengthy, but ternary operator, using ternary operator in a single line, we could write it. If else, it can have multiple statements, multiple assignments and expression in its body. But for ternary operator, it produces an expression and hence a single value can be assigned or incorporated into a large expression. The nested if statement is simple and fairly easy to understand. But for ternary operator, it in its nested form becomes complex and difficult to understand. So this is the basic difference between if else and ternary operator. Let us see another type of conditional statement, that is the switch case statement. Now the switch statement in Java is Java's multi-way branch selection statement. It provides an easy way to dispatch execution to different parts of the code based on the value of an expression. The expression must be of type byte, short, int and character. Each case value must be unique. Unique means it cannot be repeated. Duplicate values are not allowed. The general form of a switch case statement is as under. You can see switch expression. This expression results in a single value. Then we have different cases. Each case will have a statement sequence and then we have a break statement. Like this, we can have several cases. At the end, we write default keyword and within that the default statement sequence is specified. Now, what are the rules which are to be followed while using switch statement? A case statement cannot exist by itself outside of a switch block. Within a switch block, all the case statements has to be written. As you can see, switch expression, you can see the parenthesis. Within these parentheses, all the case statements, case value, case statement and the default statement has to be written. The break statement should appear as the last statement in a case block. Now you can see after the end of each case block, the break statement should be written. Braces should be used to denote the start and end of the switch block. As you can see, we have already specified after the switch expression the starting of the braces. After the default statement, the braces has been ended. Only character constants and integer constants are used in case constants, but allows only for equality comparison. That is, in a case only we can have the equality comparison. All case labels in the same switch block may have unique value. They should have different values. So these are the rules which you should follow while using the switch statement. What is a fall through? Now, fall through refers to the way the switch statement executes its various case sections. Every statement that follows the selected case section will be executed unless a break statement is encountered. Now you can see switch expression. Here the break statement has been not specified in the case value 1 and case value 2. But after case value 3 you can see the break statement has been written. So when I give the expression value as 1, then the output will give me statement sequence 1, 2 and 3 all together, because until and unless the break statement is encountered, all the case statements will be executed. So what is the effect of absence of a break in a switch statement? In the absence of a break statement in a switch statement, it leads to a situation called fall through, where once a matching case is found, the subsequent case blocks are executed unconditionally. Now you can see this is a Java program where we have written, we have used the switch statement, and you can see this is the correct method of writing the switch statement. So when I compile it, now this program is compiled. Now you can see when I will run it, you can see in the terminal window I give the value 2. So it will print to me 2, program over, it is showing. Let's say I remove the break statements from 1 and 2. In that case, I compile it. It will not show any error, but now when I'll execute it, you can see I give the value 1. Let's see. You can see it is printing to me 1, 2 and 3. Whereas it should only show to me 1, but it is printing to me 1, 2 and 3. You can see after 3 the break statement is there. That is why it stops over there. So now if I use a break statement, only that particular case value or the statement in the case will be displayed, and then the program will end over there. But if in the absence of break, all the cases will be executed till a break is encountered. Now this is the problem of fall through. Now what is the purpose of default in a switch statement? The expression in a switch statement is evaluated and its resultant values are matched against the values or constants specified in the case statement. When a match is found, the statement sequence associated with the case is executed until the break statement or the end of a switch statement is reached. Now this is the default working of a switch statement. Now the default statement gets executed when no match is found. If no match is found, none of the cases are matched, then the default statement will be executed. Now this default statement is optional, and if it is missing, no action takes place if all the matches fail. Now let us see this practically. Now you can see I have got my default statement in this switch case. So there are 4 cases, and then I have the default. That is, if I enter 1, then it will display 1. If I enter 2, then 2 will be displayed. If I enter 3, then 3 will be displayed. If I enter 4, 4 will be displayed. Now I have a default. So when I run it, you can see. Suppose I enter my choice to be 6. Now 6 is not there in any of the cases. It will show to me invalid choice. Now this invalid choice is present in my default block. Now let's see. I remove this. I have removed this default statement. So now I'll compile it. Now when I will execute it, you can see when I enter 6, it will not show to me anything. It will be an abrupt ending without any information to the user. So what is the role of default? If none of the cases are matched, then the statement in the default statement is executed, and in the absence of default, there will be no execution, there will be an abrupt ending. Now you can see over here the same thing. If the code value of A is 1, 2 or 3, then none of the case blocks get executed, and therefore the statement in the default blocks gets executed, which gives the output as not 1, 2 or 3. So what is the difference between a switch and if statement? If checks for both relational and logical operator, whereas switch case it only checks for equality. In if else we can use every data type, almost any data type, but in switch case we can only use integers and characters. In if else, comparison may be variable or an expression or constant with another variable, expression or constant. But in switch case, comparison is always with a variable or expression with an integer or character constant. This is very important that we need to know. In if else comparison, there can be between a variable or an expression or constant with another variable. But in your switch case, the comparison is always with a variable or expression which results in an integer or character constant. So what is the significance of system.exit 0? Now during the course of running the program, as soon as system.exit 0 function is invoked, it will terminate the execution at that moment. Thus, the execution of remaining statements of the program will be ignored. Like you can see in this program, if I write system.exit 0, then immediately it will, suppose I give a negative number. Let's say I give the value of a, the user gives to be -1. So it will print negative number and it will end over there. And if it's a positive number, normally positive. So there is a big difference between system.exit 0 and break that we will see practically. Now, when I use the break statement, it brings the control of execution out of the switch block. But when I use system.exit 0, it just ends the program over there and no more execution is there, which you can see when we'll do it practically. Now in the case of break, you can see if I enter my number to be 7, that is it will, and I enter my choice to be 2, it will show cube 343, that is the cube of 7 will be shown, and then program over will be shown, because you can see after the switch block I have specified over here program over. Same thing I have specified in my using system.exit, program over is there, but it will not print program over, it will just print 343 and it will end the program over there. So break brings the cursor out of the switch block, thus the statement system.out.println program over is executed. System.exit 0 terminates the program block over there, so there will be no more execution. Now let us see this practically. Now you can see in this program I have used system.exit 0. So now when I have compiled this program. Now when I will execute it, I will give 1, 2, enter your choice. So suppose I give 2 and then I enter my number to be 6. You can see it will print just cube 216, that is the cube of 216. At the cube of 6 is printed, that is 216. After that the statement that was there, system.out.println program over, out of the switch the statement was there, it has not been executed. Now in place of system.exit we will use break. Now I compile it. Now you can see the same thing I will enter 3 is my choice, and I give 6. Now you can see it will show to me, okay, I had to specify over here 2. We will run it once again. I give my choice to be 2 and I give the number to be 6. Same like the previous time. Here you can see program over has been printed. So what do we understand? That when we use the break statement, it brings the cursor out of the switch block, and whatever statement is there after the switch block, it is executed. But when system.exit is encountered, it just ends the program over there wherever it encounters system.exit 0. So students, these were all the possible theory questions that will come relating to selection or conditional statements. Thank you. All the best.